in an era where entire arsenals collide on the battlefield. The war in Ukraine serves as a vivid showcase of past relics and cutting-edge innovations. Soviet-era artifacts continue to find their place. Western technology redefines modern warfare, and Ukrainian ingenuity thrives under necessity. Yet, amidst this clash of old and new, one question looms. Which weapons are steering the tide of victory, and which are faltering under the demands of contemporary combat? This analysis delves into the best and worst tools of war shaping Ukraine's fight for survival. Russian glide bombs, unexpected success. Russia was second only to the US in military might before the Ukraine war. Just months of fighting changed this perception. Modern warfare's speed and brutality revealed Russian flaws and made the once feared force a paper tiger. We shouldn't be surprised that only one Russian weapon won. The glide bombs. Many scholars believe glide bombs helped Russia win the bloody Battle of Avdiivka by wiping out Ukrainian positions and forcing them to retreat. What are these glide bombs that temporarily favored Russia? Simply put, glide bombs land between missiles and bombs on the ordnance table. Glide bombs are armored shells with warheads that float over the sky, instead of plunging and following a parabolic flight path, increasing their effective range. Modern glide bombs are Russia's most effective aerial weaponry against Ukraine, which is significant. Cheap to produce, these devices are destructive. A 3-ton glide bomb can fly 40 kilometers and destroy multi-story structures and reinforced bunkers. Glider bombs are not new to Russia. The glide bomb was first introduced in 1954 as FAB 500 M54. FAB stands for High Explosive Aviation Bomb, and 500 implies a weight of 500 kilograms or 1,100 pounds. Soviet bombers' exterior hardpoint carriages could carry the Lodrag M62, the next iteration. These bombs' early models were crude by today's standards. Why? Also termed stupid bombs. Dumb bombs use gravity to hit their targets without power or guidance. The bomber's alignment and release point determined its accuracy when dropped directly from the aircraft. However, the Ukraine war made these bombs smarter. Glider bombs now have guidance kits attached like backpacks. The Russians created Universal Plan and Correction Models, UMPK, to turn unguided Soviet bombs into precision-guided munitions. Indeed, they did. The Russian glide bombs now use GPS trackers to hit their targets with precision and accuracy. The bomb glides for miles before exploding due to 2 pop-up wings on the side. They can also be dropped from a safe distance, letting Russian bombers attack Ukrainian cities without entering Ukrainian airspace. Though glide bombs aren't as precise as guided missiles, their ability to attack immobile targets at a lower cost has provided Russia a strategic advantage. Failures of Russian advanced weapons. Russia's high-tech weaponry, touted as cutting-edge, has performed poorly in Ukraine, with precision-guided missiles being a prime example. US intelligence estimated that up to 60% of these missiles failed to launch or detonate effectively, a significant embarrassment for Russia. Among the failed models are hypersonic missiles like the 3M-22 Zircon, capable of Mach 8-9 speed, which were intercepted by Ukrainian air defenses, including during attacks on Kyiv in early 2024. Similarly disappointing was the Sukhoi Su-34 fighter bomber. Designed to revolutionize Russian air capabilities, it featured advanced avionics, radar systems, and a range of high-tech weapons. Yet, 25% of the 140 Su-34s deployed in Ukraine were destroyed, with 8 shot down in just 10 days in 2024. Despite a $36 million price tag per unit, these aircraft failed to achieve air superiority or neutralize Ukrainian defenses. In stark contrast, the US-made Patriot missile system has reshaped the balance of power in Ukraine's airspace since its deployment in April 2023. With a range of over 100 miles and advanced radar for precise interception, it has neutralized Russian aircraft and missiles, including hypersonic ones, rendering many of Russia's air assets ineffective. Ukraine has also demonstrated the effectiveness of cost-efficient solutions, such as $300 to $500 FPV drones. These drones have caused significant damage to Russian forces, proving that innovation and adaptability can outperform costly and overhyped technologies. Advanced UAVs and Russian tanks versus FPV drones. FPV drones, once tools for insurgents with limited impact, have transformed into a critical weapon in the Ukraine war, costing just $300 to $500. These drones are a budget-friendly alternative to high-tech UAVs like the $5 million Bayraktar TB2. Despite initial praise, 24 of the 40-50 TB2s delivered to Ukraine were destroyed, highlighting their vulnerability against advanced air defenses. FPV drones excel due to their agility, precision, and ability to carry full-sized rocket-propelled grenades or explosives. They can navigate tight spaces and execute precise strikes, making them ideal for targeting enemy positions and high-value assets. By early 2024, FPV kamikaze drones were responsible for over two-thirds of Russia's tank losses, outpacing artillery and guided missiles. While Russia began 2024 with 177 tanks, including the advanced T-90 series, its losses have been staggering. By September 2024, Russia had lost 86 and 40 tanks, including 150 of its purportedly superior T-90s. Despite upgrades like improved turrets and fire control systems, the T-90M's design remains vulnerable, particularly its outdated chassis and armor derived from Cold War-era T-72 tanks. Even modest threats, such as the 25mm Bushmaster cannon on Bradley vehicles or FPV drone strikes, have exposed the T-90M's weaknesses. Compounding this is the inexperience of Russian tank crews. As many skilled operators were lost early in the invasion, poor training and the lack of combined arms operations further limit their effectiveness, making Russian tanks isolated and easy targets for Ukrainian forces. This reflects a systemic flaw in Russia's military approach, prioritizing quantity over quality and rushing undertrained crews into combat. As a result, even Russia's most advanced tanks, like the T-90M, have fallen short of their reputation, becoming liabilities rather than assets on the battlefield. Bradley Fighting Vehicle Proven Tank Destroyer. The Bradley Infantry Fighting Vehicle has proven to be one of the most effective weapons for Ukraine in the Russo-Ukrainian War. Equipped with a 25mm Bushmaster chain gun, the Bradley's rapid-fire capability and armor-piercing rounds allow it to defeat enemy tanks when used strategically. This was demonstrated north of Avdiivka, where two Bradleys outmaneuvered and targeted the vulnerable points of a T-90M tank, ultimately disabling it. A Ukrainian commander credited the strategy to insights gained from a computer game. The tank was later destroyed by a drone. Bradley's combat effectiveness is not new. During Operation Desert Storm, 1,700 Bradleys were deployed alongside Abrams tanks against Soviet-made T-72s used by Saddam Hussein's forces. In the Battle of 73 Easting, Bradleys destroyed 5 T-72s in minutes and contributed significantly to the coalition's victory. With nearly 160 Iraqi tanks and dozens of armored vehicles eliminated, only about 20 Bradleys were lost, most to friendly fire, showcasing their resilience. The Bradley's performance contrasts starkly with Russian BMP vehicles, which have consistently fallen short in both survivability and combat effectiveness. In Ukraine, as in past conflicts, the Bradley has demonstrated its superiority, further tipping the scales against Russian forces. Snipex Alligator rifle in Ukraine's arsenal. Russia lost 18 BMP-1 infantry fighting vehicles in one day in July 2023, mostly in southern Ukraine, showing the close combat record of the vehicle. That's nearly as many as the US-led coalition lost in 43 days of Operation Desert Storm. The BMP-1s were destroyed mainly by Ukrainian artillery, missiles, hidden mines, and drones. The 13-ton BMP-1s, which had a crew of 3 and 11 soldiers, have mostly been scrapped. Nearly 60 years old and vulnerable to modern combat. The question is why they are still deployed. The answer is simple. Russia has no other choice. Initially, Russia had 400 BMP-3, 2,800 BM-2, and 600 BMP-1s. But after losing 1,000 new vehicles in the first year of the war, they were forced to use older versions. Russia still had large reserves of 7,200 BMP-1s and 1,400 BMP-2s. However, large numbers could not compensate for large losses. 169-25 infantry fighting vehicles were destroyed during the war. While Russia lost many weapons, Ukraine took advantage of the power of effective weapons, such as the Snipex Alligator rifle. This is one of Ukraine's most powerful weapons, distinguished by its power, range, and anti-material capabilities. The Snipex Alligator weighs 25 kilotons, is 2 meters long, and uses a 14.5 x 114mm round designed for Soviet heavy guns. This round has the power to destroy targets beyond the range of conventional guns, with an effective range of 1 25 beats, 2 kills. Rest assured, a Ukrainian sniper hit a target at a distance of 1.68 miles, setting a second world record. The gun is necessary for the user, the gunner, and the support person. The main target is not soldiers but steel utility vehicles, radar systems, landing machines, and helicopters. With a muzzle energy of 30,000 joules, the Alligator can destroy sensors and important parts of the vehicle. On the battlefield in Ukraine, the Snipex Alligator has shown its effectiveness in penetrating operations against utility vehicles such as the Russian BTR. Although not designed to fight militants, it has been used with terrifying effectiveness, as in the mission of Ghost and the Ghost of Bakhmut Battalion, where they killed over 500 Russian militants without suffering a single loss as of October 2023. However, wars are not decided by weapons but also by people. Russia has lost nearly 63,000 soldiers since invading Ukraine, the intense pace of the war. This astonishing number includes fatalities and wounded, highlighting the war's human cost. It also shows how unprepared, unequipped, and mismanaged Russia's forces were against Ukraine's robust fight, which helped Ukraine win. What do you think? Are you on our list? Do you want to add or delete weapons? KA-52. Alligator attack helicopter. For biggest disappointment. Or HIMARS for most game-changing weapon? Post your comments below. Much obliged. Do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Goodbye and see you.